up, guys? I'm Daniel Curtis Lee.
And I'm Devin Werkheiser.
And I'm Lindsay Shaw.
And we're the cast of Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. And
this
is SoundAdvice.
If you guys had the aux at this pool party, what would you guys play?
If I had the aux at this pool party, I would play Bad Mama Jamma by Khadijah and Snoop Dogg because I directed the video.
Oh
yeah.
If I had the aux at this pool party right now, I'd be playing Tem's new record because it's fire and she's so good.
And if I had the aux at this party, I would put on our podcast.
Hey, there you go.
Right? On loop. Okay.
Always be promoting.
Wait. Second one. If I had the aux at this pool party, I would be playing Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Summer smash. Come on.
It's a smash.
You've already told us you're a Drake baby.
Oh, what? Not at all. Kendrick Lamar.
I mean,
Kung Fu Kenny, baby.
You guys have been collaborating together for quite a while. When it comes to collaboration, what do you feel like are the key qualities you look for in partners?
Ooh, key qualities that we look for in partners. Craziness here, and then commitment to getting the job done over here. Yeah.
Nice.
and just like unbridled ego here.
Yeah.
Right? See, Daniel is a super humble person, but if you give him the chance to bloom, oh, he's going to bloom right up in your face all day, all night long.
That part.
Yeah, so look, we collaborate on a lot of different levels. Like here we're at VidCon, right? We're meeting a bunch of creators. Like there's like entry-level collaboration that just takes someone asking and them seeming like a good enough energy or bringing like a nice enough either platform or art form. Like I met this Java Doodles today. She does these awesome little animations. She's like, hey, I would love to do something. Great. Like, great platform, fun animations. That's just fun for us. So there's that collaboration where I'm just kind of open if the energy's good and the platform's good and their talent's good. This collaboration, this is like some long-running, I don't know how Nickelodeon got it so right with our chemistry as kids, because working together as adults has been incredible. I love working with them, and we each bring something different to the team and balance each other out where we need it and round each other out where we need it. So this chemistry, I don't think you can construct. Yeah, you can't manufacture this. I don't think I could even go seek and try and find this. This is some...
On our own. But together, we're three duds in a...
With three
Bud.
peas in a pod.
3 duds in the mud.
Yeah, so this is something unique that you cannot find. But other collaboration out there, you kind of just got to like go for it, man. Don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Shit, sometimes we get DMs from someone like, hey, want to make a video? And if we're feeling it, we're down. So if you're a creator out there and you want to collab with someone, like, don't be afraid to ask. You get nothing without asking. Yeah. And then sometimes when you ask, you still get nothing, but at least you asked.
At least you asked.
We've been asking Nickelodeon for a reboot for 20 years.
And nothing.
Still nothing.
Nada.
But at least we asked, right?
Right.
Right, guys?
Several times.
Anyways, I gotta... No, I'm just kidding.
You guys have had some incredible guests on your show. What was each of yours, maybe like give me a favorite moment that you've had, or maybe like the best piece of advice you've heard on your podcast?
Michelle Kim, she played Evelyn Kwong on Ned's. I didn't have the privilege to like get to know her very well at that age. We were in a different schoolroom. Like meeting her as an adult, she has blown my mind wide open. We were all so quiet during her episode just listening to her. Yeah. She's so convicted about who she is and what she believes and how she lives her life that it's just so easy to listen to her. And I feel very, very blessed to have been touched by her energy as an adult and really appreciate what that was. And her whole episode is full of bangers.
Yeah. Michelle Kim is one of my favorites too. She played my girlfriend on the show, so that was great. Seeing her, blossom into this awesome mother. Like we go and we have lunch with her every now and again. Really fun. I gotta say, Cleo Thomas though is one of my favorite interviews. He was in Holes like back in the day, but little fact, he and I were in like my first project together, Friday After Next. It was a Cube Vision film, and it's just a crazy throwback to see what he's working on these days. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know. We've had so many guests now. A lot of it blurs together, but it's been so great reconnecting with all the people we were on this show with, but a lot of people we haven't seen in a long time. And we've all taken different journeys to now. And we hold the experience of Ned's still holds this like special place in most of our hearts. At least the memories of that time are like still pretty shiny for all of us. And so getting to reconnect about that as adults after everything all of us have been through and deal with, it feels good.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my favorite guests. We just had my mom on the podcast. Yeah, she was a big part of making Ned's, and but no one would ever know. That's that true behind the scenes. So yeah, having her on was great. Darren Norris, great episode. Reconnecting with him, he played Janitor Gordy. He was like our best friend on the show, and talking to him again reminded me of that. I was like, oh, I miss you as like my friend. You were my friend.
What is one thing you guys wish you knew when you first started your career?
One thing I wish I knew when I first started my career, one thing I wish I knew when I was getting off of Ned's is my assumption that the work would continuously flow in seamlessly into my life was not the right assumption. And I wish I knew that and saved more money.
One thing that I wish I would have known at the beginning is that it's not everything, that you still can have passion for your work, but keep yourself a well-rounded human being, because if the career is your only foundation, you're going to find that cracks sooner than later. It doesn't weather things very well. But if you have a life beyond your career, you will always have that magnetic energy of bringing things towards you. But like a good life is better than a good career every fucking time. Sorry.
Every step of the way. That is so legit. That's so honest. Something I wish I knew before I started my career. I would say most things in life are temporary. Know that. Be okay with it. Get acquainted with the fact that things will come and go. You'll have the ups, the downs, but overall, you're just, you're continuing on your path. Don't get too thrown off thinking that, I need something and I need it forever. It's like, hey, enjoy it for the moment that you're in it, and then move on to the next great moment. That's what I say.
I got an additional one. Your network will be your career, and that can't be a fake thing. That can't be, you don't go like, I love your work and I need you to be my network so that my work. No. It's got to be organic. It's the people. It's got to be the people who you spend the most time with. That is going to be how your career blossoms and how you blossom. That's both a professional and personal advice. Is you will become who you are spending the time with, and your career will blossom from the people that you know. So don't be fake with that, but be discerning with that. Choose whose values do you like, both personally and professionally. Who's kind of doing what you want to be doing and you like, and don't be fake. Like I said, you got to bring and you got to be real, but that is where your career is going to unfold. It's not just getting bestowed upon you. It's coming through your organic life. It's coming through your people.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
We were talking about this a little bit before, but about how SoundExchange, we advocate for furthering creator rights and making sure that creators are paid fairly. What does fair compensation mean to you? And if you could change one thing about the industry tomorrow, what would you do?
We need to change it 20 years ago. So listen, we don't get residuals. So that's insane. So fair compensation,
it matters.
Ned's is still out there making money, and we never have from it. Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, and it's a tough situation because you're you want to look back at this thing that did bring you joy. We loved our experience on the set, and we made a lot of other people happy, and they get to watch it. But it almost feels like a slap in the face when you're they're continuing to show this thing on Netflix, and we're not getting anything. I went to a Disney show after, and they give us residuals. Still, we should raise those, but it's just so crazy that one of the biggest shows I was on does not kick me anything. Hits my likeness in perpetuity. Yeah. It's terrible.
I think it's really annoying because they say there's a difference between, you do it for art or commerce, right? And money is obviously such a huge part of what keeps this wheel greased. But it's so interesting that the profit only ever goes to the non-creative sector of the whole machine, And I think if you're going to feed on creative energy like that, you're almost always going to back it into a corner and make it more narrow, right? That money makes things, but you're not fulfilling the energy that's making these things big, right? You're not fulfilling the creative energy that's actually reaching people, that's actually having a relevant thing. You're just feeding the machine that sort of distributed it. So I think that at a certain point, that waters down the amount of creative energy that you can monetize. Yeah.
Takes away the value. Yeah, we all suffer when you have that model. When you have a model that is not holistic, we all suffer.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really hard. I mean, I think of like the olden days when artists would get a patron or a grant. Like, it was known that artists need support so they can do their thing, and their thing affects culture and affects humanity in a positive way. So like, it used to just be like, people would find a way to get a grant, like a patron. Oh yeah, he covers my art studio or whatever, so that you can just go be the artist. These days, all artists have to be the business person too, and the advocate for their money, and the marketer, yeah, and your agent, and I hate it.
When we were working, like, it wasn't a business as it is now. You would be catered to, for better, for worse, right? Your only job was to focus on the acting. And while I do think I'm a more well-rounded person because I've had to learn other things, I don't think it's just hard to come in and learn these skills so late in life when that's kind of what the bubble is now. You know what I mean? You have to learn to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, you have to be everything now, and that's where, on top of that, you're rarely getting fairly compensated unless you're in the top of the top. So you're doing everything and not being fairly compensated and doing like 12 jobs. It's exhausting. I think all of us artists, all of us creatives feel burnout. It's so gnarly. I'm a musician too. I don't make any money on music. I spend thousands of dollars to make my music because I love it, and I'm going to. Like, thank God I have other avenues that I work on the commerce. I don't know how to. Anytime I've pursued music aggressively in the industry, I lose my love for music.
Oh, yeah.
And so then I stop, and then I reconnect to the fact that I love making music. Okay, it's for me again. So then I get back in, but I need to find a way to the industry so that it can be self-sustaining, and then I burn out. So lately, I've just been making music. My new project's called Good Valley. For right now, I'm just spending money on it because I love it, and I have no attachment to what it does. I've given up thinking it will pay me. Thanks, Spotify.
I feel like a lot of people nowadays, I mean, just like humans in general, are multifaceted, and I think you guys have explored several different lanes. How has your creative process differed in each? How do you balance your time?
I've always believed in being a jack of all trades. Sometimes it gets like a negative
but not when you know the full
connotation.
saying.
But oh yeah, the full quote was which one?
A jack of all trades is better than... Wait.
No, hold on.
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but better than a master of one.
But oftentimes better than a master of one.
I didn't know the full quote.
It's a great one.
No, we all have the half. And the full quote means
Jack of all trades is master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. And I love it. I love it. For me, especially as actors, you're chasing this phone call that's going to come if you keep driving to these auditions and sitting in traffic for hours just to go in for a freaking 3-minute audition. I got really sick of that, and I was like, I want to take things into my own hands. I want to start shooting my own projects. And what does that take? It takes you learning, lighting techniques. It takes you learning the camera, the ins and outs, learning about resolution, ISO, aperture, all these different things that seem like a lot, but if you really want to be in front of the camera, learn a little bit about behind the camera. For me to juggle and balance all the things that I choose to take on, I like to compartmentalize. So just get a designated space for when you're like locking in on your acting. You got your cool backdrop, you got your lighting set up there. I edit as well. Okay, I need a designated space for that. All right, you want to do some music? Have your guitar a little set up where you need it. That way you can kind of go through your cycles without feeling, I just burnt out on this thing and, I don't know where to go. Make sure there's a designated space for what you're trying to do.
Last question. What is the best or worst piece of advice that you've ever been given in your in your career?
Best or worst is so funny. I don't know worst. But oh man, so when I first booked Ned's, I was at this MTV building, like kind of being welcomed into the network in LA, like whatever, meeting with some people, and Henry Winkler was in there having a meeting. And they said, oh, hey, this is like he's got a new show. And, you know, Henry Winkler's a esteemed actor, has been around the industry a long time. And this was pre-social media, so my goodness, was he already speaking truth. But he said, he was such a nice man, but he said, okay, I'll just give you a little piece of advice for being in the public eye. He said, don't believe the good that you read and see about yourself, and don't believe the bad. Like, basically, like, keep what you're reading about yourself, good and bad, out of your assessment of yourself. And I need to take that back into consideration these days, because the internet is rough.
The best advice, I think, is just stay present. They say don't look into the past because it'll cause like depression, and don't look into the future because it'll cause anxiety.
Just stay in the present because that's a gift, bitch.
Hey, that part right there. Wait, can you say that again?
Open the gift.
You stay in the present because that's a gift, bitch. No, but the worst piece of advice I've ever gotten was, when you know better, you'll do better. I got all the fucking knowledge. I got all the knowledge, right? Like, all the knowledge that I thought that I could get or need or, like, put up here, nothing changed. But when you feel better, you do better. You know what I mean? Like, knowledge is powerful, but it's not all knowing or all powerful. Like, your intuition is really what can lead you. So when you feel better, you can do better.